You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Breaking overnight, Tropical Storm Gordon has made landfall near the Alabama-Mississippi border, leaving thousands without power this morning.
Plus, the body of a missing 2-year-old in Largo has been found. We're going to tell you where he was found and who is facing charges in his murder this morning.
And the germiest place in the airport may not be where you think. We'll tell you just where the dirtiest place. You might be surprised. Those stories on Good Morning Suncoast right now. I was surprised when I heard the results of that.
Yes, I can't wait to hear the results of that. I do not know, but sometimes I worry about our own desks here.
I know.
You know, there's a lot of places that you would be surprised that there may germs. By the way, I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for telling us. And I'm Ray Collins, and he's John Scalzi. Good morning, John.
Good morning, everybody. So, of course, we're continuing to watch Gordon move onshore now. It made landfall as a tropical storm. Never made it to hurricane status, but it certainly is producing a lot of rainfall. The good news is it continues to move at a pretty good clip. So total rainfall accumulations up there, not going to be perhaps as great as it would be if this were a much slower moving system. That's the good news. Its effect on us, again, minimal. We had showers and thunderstorms yesterday. We'll have them again today as we have this east wind. We're already seeing a few move onshore on the east coast. Rain chance today, about 60%. The complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Let's check the roads right now. First off, here's the scene in Manatee County. So far, so good as of 5:01 a.m. Let's go farther south. Now, here's the scene in the northern half of Sarasota County. Still no red to speak of. Little tiny congestion point there at 41, where Mound resumes with 41 at 301 intersection there. And then farther south, this is the final map we'll show you right now. Here is South County. Film red there on 75 southbound after you get past the Jacaranda exit and head toward River Road. So be aware of that. Just a minor slowdown at the River Road exit as you travel through the Venice area.
Well, it was a sad ending in the search for a missing 2-year-old in Largo. Yesterday, the body of Jordan Bellevue was found in a wooded area.
And this morning, his mother is behind bars. Quite a twist here. Marla Spence says the story. She's live with us here in the studio. Marla?
Guys, the mother of that 2-year-old boy is now in police custody this morning after her son was found dead yesterday afternoon in a wooded area near Largo. This is 21-year-old Shara Stinson. She faces a first-degree murder charge in connection to her son's death. Largo police say the 2-year-old Jordan Bellevue's body was found in a wooded area near the location where Stinson claimed a stranger named Antoine offered them a ride Saturday night before knocking her out, then abducting the child. When police found Jordan yesterday, they would not comment on the condition of that toddler that was found, but they are glad they are close to closing this case and getting justice for that 2-year-old boy.
I'd like to thank the citizens of Largo and those that responded with valuable information and tips that also helped this case come to a close. Without them, extra ears and eyes out there, I don't think this would have come to a conclusion as fast as it has.
And this morning, police expect to release more information in the death of the toddler and this case. Ray and Stephanie.
All right, thank you so much, Marla. Well, another pygmy killer whale was rescued yesterday, this time on the Longboat Key shoreline. It is the third one in a week now. The other two were rescued on Clearwater Beach just last week. Now, the stranded whale was spotted yesterday morning near the Four Winds Beach Resort. At this time, it's not known exactly why these 3 whales were stranded, but experts say they are looking at everything.
A lot of these animals that mass strand, they're generally found far, far offshore. They're pelagic and they're in generally really tight, socially bonded groups. So a lot of times, if one animal is not making great decisions, the rest of them will follow them to the beach, almost like a Pied Piper. Sometimes it's following food. There are a lot of reasons that animals will mass strand. So it's not clear if it's red tide.
Now, Moat Marine staff brought the whale to Jane's Refuge Dolphin and Whale Hospital in Sarasota. It's been nicknamed Bolt and remains in critical condition with the other 2.
The Venice Marine Patrol was very busy over the long weekend, but not with boaters. Instead, they recovered 5 manatees killed by red tide. A group of friends from Jacksonville came down this past weekend for some holiday fishing, but little did they expect to be part of a rescue of one of the manatees. After finding the distressed manatee, they called for help, and the Marine Patrol was the first on the scene, giving instructions on how to help him breathe better until biologists arrived.
We were all able to sit back and first of all rejoice about the fact that out of 4 that were called in on that day, ours was the only one that came out of the water still alive that hadn't drowned.
That surviving manatee was taken to SeaWorld, where experts there say he is recovering and no longer showing any signs of red tide exposure.
Well, the father of a Parkland school shooting victim was in Washington yesterday for Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation hearing, and he says he was snubbed when he tried to shake Kavanaugh's hand. Fred Gutenberg tweeted about the encounter with Kavanaugh when the hearing took a lunch break. So Gutenberg says he attempted to introduce himself and shake Kavanaugh's hand, but the Supreme Court nominee was quickly ushered away.
I simply said, hi, my name is Fred Gutenberg. I'm the father of Jamie Gutenberg, who was murdered in Parkland. As soon as I got to the murdered in Parkland, that's where you saw him turn and move and walk the other way, and that's where you saw security start to help direct him. But he was listening to me. All he had to do was extend his hand back and say, I'm sorry for your loss. Tell me about your daughter. That's it.
Now, a White House spokesperson says it was just a security issue, saying that Kavanaugh didn't know who the man was and security was the one that kept him going.
A developing story from Brazil, where firefighters have salvaged some of the historic collection in that museum destroyed by flames. They were able to salvage a skull that was on display in the 200-year-old museum. Flames destroyed the building Sunday night, and officials have said much of the collection has been lost. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but some protesters are upset about government budget cuts, maintenance, and perhaps a faulty sprinkler system.
Well, back here in Florida, it is shaping up to be a tight race for governor. One of the most recent polls shows Tallahassee Mayor and Democratic candidate Andrew Gillum up by 3 points against GOP Representative Ron DeSantis. Now, Gillum has gained support from progressives like former presidential candidate Bernie Sanders. Now, if he wins, he would become the state's first African-American governor.
Well, here's a rare chance to use a police-issued weapon, drive a police car, and use a police radio. The Venice Citizens Police Academy is a 10-week program that gives members a chance to experience a day in the life of a police officer. The weekly classes start in February. You can apply right now. You must pass a background check first. For information, go to our website, mysuncoast.com.
Well, it is time to dig out that tennis ball from underneath the couch. A new dog park is opening in Sarasota. An off-leash park called the Canine Club in Gillespie Park is going to be opening to the public next Monday. Now, it's going to have 2 separate fenced-in areas, one for big dogs, one for smaller dogs. It also has a doggy drinking fountain, because that is important here, and newly planted trees, landscaping, and some shade structures as well. The grand opening, as we mentioned, is Monday, and it's going to make it the second dog park within city limits.
The city of Northport will hold a special meeting Thursday night to discuss 2 very different issues. They'll see the final draft nomination requesting 2 buildings at Warm Mineral Springs be added to the state's Register of Historic Places. The Spa and Cyclorama buildings went up back in 1959. According to the application, the buildings embody many characteristics of the Sarasota School of Architecture's style. And commissioners will also look at selecting a name for the city's new Boundless Playground. The playground at the Garden of 5 Senses was designed for all children, including those with disabilities. The city received 322 name suggestions from residents.
Well, last year, over 700 children were removed from their homes here on the Suncoast, and each month more than 1,000 kids are in and out of foster homes. Now, to help keep siblings together while in the foster care system, Guardian Angels of Southwest Florida and Florida Baptist Children's Home are teaming up to build 6-bedroom homes for foster parents in Palmetto, allowing enough space for them to take in siblings. Now, the homes are being built with community donations. Foster parents can live there rent-free as long as they provide a Christian home where kids can see what a stable family life looks like.
So often they don't have the guidance that they need from both parents. So we want to put a picture and maybe end that cycle of foster care.
Now, the organization has built 3 homes so far on the 9-acre property, and they're currently building their 4th. The overall plan is to build 9 homes there total.
Interesting cross promotion here. Sign up for a library card in Manatee County and get 4 free passes to the South Florida Museum. One set of passes will be available at each of the Manatee Library locations for new card holders. They'll be available on a first-come, first-served basis and will accommodate up to 4 people. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, as we go through September, we'll tell you what the best deals are for the month.
And later in the hour, Tropical Storm Gordon has officially made landfall, leaving thousands without power. We'll tell you where the storm is right now. But first,
it is 5:09 on this Wednesday morning. There's a shot from our tower camera high above our building in the Rosemary District. Let's get a check of the temperatures now from John Scalzi.
Yeah, we're looking at temperatures that are about where they were yesterday, actually, almost exactly. 76 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, the same. Mayaca, 77. 79 Longboat Key, Venice at 78, and Bradenton coming in at 77. Today, we'll have a good chance of seeing daytime highs at around 92, cooled by showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. About a 60% chance of that. Complete forecast in a minute.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
You like to pay less. That's why you made Honda Accord the best-selling midsize car in America. Get the redesigned Accord, the North American Car of the Year, or Civic, a KBB.com Best Buy for less than the competition. Like SUVs and trucks? Get Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, CRV, the 8-passenger Pilot, or Ridgeline truck for up to $4,240 less today at your local Honda dealer.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our nation's youth. We believe veterans earn their benefits through their service to our nation. We believe in a strong national security. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion, and we believe it makes a difference. If you believe, learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Pretty much exactly where we were yesterday in terms of our statistics and data here. 76 degrees our air temperature, dew point coming in at 76, 100% relative humidity, and the east wind continues at about 8 miles per hour. We're looking at a day that'll feature pretty quiet conditions during the morning hours. Don't see much in the way of any kind of rainfall chance here. Maybe 10% for an isolated sprinkle in inland areas. That's about it. Otherwise, our rain chances start to increase as we head into the afternoon. We get a little daytime heating going on. Showers and thunderstorms then build, and we'll look for about a 60% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, which will be welcome because they will help cool off a daytime high temperature that'll probably top out around 92 degrees. We'll go with 91 by around 3 o'clock, and then temperatures kind of fall off pretty quickly as we head into the evening hours and those showers and thunderstorms are around. There's Gordon. Gordon now kind of opening up, becoming a much weaker system. Current wind speeds at 40 miles per hour show a significant drop since it made landfall with 70-mile-an-hour winds. Never made it to a hurricane, but it certainly was close enough. It didn't really create a big surge problem either because it moved pretty quickly. And as I said, it's a high-end tropical storm, not a hurricane. And the rainfall amounts are going to be significant. There will be some flooding, no doubt about that. But it's moving pretty quickly, so the total rainfall amounts are not going to be that excessive. For us, our winds continue out of the east. That east wind produces those showers that we see scattering the east coast right now, moving onshore. They're pretty light, but later on today, as they move across into our area, they'll start to explode into bigger storms, and we'll be left with a good chance of seeing numerous lightning strikes and some pretty good gully washers too, I would think, as the systems move out into Gulf waters and eventually just dissipate. We saw it yesterday. We'll see it again today. A couple of rivers still having flood problems, but only minor stuff. Gordon, 40-mile-an-hour winds, moving quickly northwest at about 14 miles per hour up the Mississippi spine, will eventually become extratropical as it lifts northward, probably by later today. Then over the course of the weekend, gets picked up by a frontal boundary and rapidly moves off to the north and to the east. We have two other systems that we continue to watch, at least two other systems that we're going to continue to watch in the week ahead. One, of course, is Florence. Florence, a system that is still a hurricane. And then we have a tropical wave coming off the coast of Africa. There may be another one back behind it. Computer models are continuing to suggest good chances of generation with this first wave, 90% over a 5-day period. And Florence forecast to eventually start to lift a little bit further to the north. But then after that, there's some question marks in the long-term forecast with this system. It's going to be hanging around for a while, and it's quite possible that now as a Category 2 storm, it develops into a Category 1 storm or lessens in intensity. And by Monday, starts to get caught up in an upper-level ridge that could steer it a little bit more westward. We'll have to watch that as we head into midweek next week. Here's a European model forecast that shows you two systems, one Florence and the other that tropical wave. Watch what happens. They both kind of move to the west eventually, caught up by this big expanding ridge of high pressure to the north. Now, one model does take Florence into the mid-Atlantic region as a hurricane, but that's way down the road. Plenty of time to wait and watch this system. But the thing is, don't let it out of the back of your mind. Let's keep abreast of what happens to this as we head into the beginning of next week. The tropical wave is dampened out in this computer model, but again, it moves into the Leeward Islands, so it's worth watching as well. Long and short of it is hurricane season is far from over. East wind coming in at about 10 knots, so we'll watch for a light to moderate chop on bay and inland waters and 2-foot seas. And the forecast looks like this. For today, 92 our daytime high temperature with a 60% chance of showers. Same thing holds true tomorrow with a temperature of about 92. Then as we head into the next several days, we'll look at about the same sort of pattern into the weekend, a 60% chance of showers. As we head into next work week, we'll lower the rain chances a little bit as drier air moves in. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check out your first alert traffic. So far in Manatee County, the only real hot spot right there, as you can see, is 301 northbound as you go past State Road 70. That's showing some delays at this early hour. Then in Sarasota, those roads are not looking too bad at this hour. Most of those, if we can move that along to Sarasota, there we go. Not looking too bad so far. Proctor Road, just a little bit of congestion after 75, but other than that, not too bad. And if your commute is going to take you farther south in the next half an hour on 75 or 41, both of those roads are looking pretty decent as well. That is your first alert traffic.
The germiest place in the airport may not be where you think it is. A new study says it's the plastic bins you use at the TSA checkpoint, hotbeds for viruses. Researchers examined handrails and toilets and kiosks, but they came back to those bins. To help stop the spread of those germs, travelers are encouraged to use hand sanitizer and wash their hands thoroughly and frequently. Didn't see that one coming.
I did not see that one coming either, but maybe all the money that you can save during the month of September can help you buy more hand sanitizer, because September is actually a month known for big sales. True story. There are always big deals on both clothing and shoes as the seasons change from summer to fall. Also, though, did you know it's actually a big month for Apple iPhone sales? Because September is actually the month when the company traditionally announces the next generation of the iPhone. This year it's September 12th. So that means that prices drop on the older generations of the iPhones as well, and a couple of the other models. Now, there's also a big deal on grills. As summer wraps up in other places, we're still getting the good deals on the grills that we can use all years long. And lastly, keep an eye on airfare. While January and October are traditionally the cheapest month to fly, you can actually find some pretty good bargain fares in September as well.
Good tips there.
Good tips. Save some money. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Happening later on today, the bigwigs from two social media giants are headed to Capitol Hill. We're going to tell you what they're going to be testifying about today.
And next half hour, a developing story from Brazil. Details about that museum fire and some of the artifacts they were able to salvage. It is 5:20 on Wednesday morning.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
The day you lose your strength is the day you lose your independence. Muscle is lost with age, affecting your energy, balance, and mobility. Before you know it, you're depending on others just to get through the day. But you can reverse and prevent muscle loss. Introducing MyoHealth, a revolutionary proven approach to increased muscle strength and function in as little as 30 days. Live life on your terms with more energy and confidence.
After a serious health issue put me down, MyoHealth's getting me back up again.
I'm doing activities that I haven't done for a long time. It really works.
MyoHealth is a safe, natural dietary supplement, the result of decades of research and 24 human clinical studies. You can live stronger at any age with greater strength, mobility, balance, and energy. Call or go online now and take the MyoHealth 30-Day Strength Challenge.
Watch Saturdays at midnight on ABC 7. Premieres September 8th.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Welcome back. It is 5:23. A 7-foot slithering visitor dropped by a Milwaukee apartment, but the real question, how the heck did it get there? Casey Cronus shares a shocking discovery that one woman made right in her living room.
It's a big sucker. If you keep the head away from me, I'll grab the cage.
It's the last thing you'd expect to see, slithering across your living room floor.
I put my flashlight underneath that footstool, and I was thinking, that can't be.
Even for Paul Winkleman, whose family business is wildlife control and pest removal.
We got a phone call from a very distraught woman, you can imagine.
At her Milwaukee apartment near 95th and Brown Deer Road, Winkleman found the boa constrictor hiding in the living room.
I got him inside the bucket, put the cover on, and walked out. The whole thing did not take me more than a minute.
But here's the real catch. It doesn't belong to the person who lives there.
All I know is that, for me, this is kind of unusual.
Winkleman predicts the snake is a pet that got loose.
It had to be. How else could it have gotten there, really?
Plus, the reptile can fit through small spaces.
It would need 6 inches. So if it came from the outside, I'm not sure if it was your laundry vent hole or how he got in.
And while it's non-venomous, it's not necessarily something you'd want as your roommate either.
When he finds a prey that's alive, he'll go around it just like he's going around my wrist right now. I personally thanked him for his cooperation later.
No,
thanks.
No, thank you. All right, top executives from Facebook and Twitter will testify before Congress today, and another company has joined the $1 trillion club.
These stories in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, social media giants heading to Washington.
Top executives from Facebook, Twitter, and Google will testify before Congress today. They're expected to face questions about the political content on their platforms and privacy concerns. Amazon has become the second company to reach $1 trillion in value. Only Apple has done it before.
But analysts warn this could bring the company more scrutiny from lawmakers. They're worried that Amazon is getting too powerful as it expands into more industries, including healthcare. And Mercedes-Benz has finally unveiled its first all-electric SUV, looking to catch up with Tesla.
The zero-emission vehicle will have a range of about 280 miles when fully charged. It's set to go into production next year. Pricing will be announced closer to the launch. Tesla stock dropped 4% after that announcement.
Little competition. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Allstate.
The fact is, there are over 9,600 roads named Park in the U.S. It's America's most popular street name. But Allstate agents know that's where the similarity stops. If you're on Park Street in Reno, Nevada, the high winds of the Washoe Zephyr could damage your siding. And that's very different than living on Park Avenue in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, where ice dams could cause water damage. But no matter what park you live on, one of 10,000 local Allstate agents knows yours. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
When I walked through a snowstorm for a cigarette, that's when I knew I had to quit. For real this time. That's why I'm using Nicorette.
Only Nicorette gum has patented dual-coated technology for great taste plus intense craving relief.
Every great why needs a great how.
Cozy up to a new look during the Colors Sweet Color Sale. From August 30th to September 10th, ask Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off paints and stains. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store today.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Me, pick me. Oh, come on, man.
glass.
Oh man, I love technology. Check out my new phone. Look at this right here. For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids, build great futures.
Mascara adds depth to the eyes. Lipstick gives the mouth color and definition. And ALS paralyzes the body.
You look great, Mom. Thank you.
Slowly taking away the ability to move and eventually breathe.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Tropical Storm Gordon has already been declared a fatal one as it made landfall overnight, where it's headed this morning and the preparations underway.
A big-name filmmaker getting involved in a 2003 story out of Southwest Florida. We'll explain that one for you.
And it's not your typical dog. We're going to tell you why this golden retriever is way more than just man's best friend. Those stories we just told you. Those stories plus your Wednesday forecast continues right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
I'm intrigued. Running for office now.
It's running for office. It could be a good thing.
All kinds of puns, yes.
Yes. Oh, he's got a while to work up all of these. So thanks for joining us this morning. It is 5:31. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. Let's get to the forecast for September the 5th. Here's John Scalzi.
Yes, indeed. And a busy one it is for parts of north central Florida, of course, or north central Gulf Coast as Gordon makes landfall, drives off to the north through Mississippi, producing rain showers all along the Florida Panhandle and points north of that. The good news is it's a fast mover, so total rainfall amounts will probably not be all that great. We have some scattered showers over on the other coast. Those are going to be blown in this direction by a general easterly wind flow. We'll watch those showers develop during the afternoon with about a 60% chance of occurring. As far as temperatures go, we're running about where we were yesterday, in the mid to upper 70s across the region. We'll have the complete forecast for you in just a few.
All right, John, talk to you again soon. Checking the roads right now. A little congestion out there on State Road 64 just east of the interstate in the eastbound lane. Nothing major so far. We'll watch that for you. Checking farther south now, here's the scene in Sarasota County up on University, eastbound around Honore, Fruitville eastbound from 301 towards Shade, and then on Clark Road east of the interstate in the eastbound lane way out there in eastern Sarasota County. And then checking our final map to the south, nothing really in the red right now. Should be a smooth commute as of 5:32 on this Wednesday morning. At 10:15 last night, Tropical Storm Gordon came ashore in Mississippi and is now moving northwest across the state.
Now, Gordon has weakened, but it's still a rainmaker. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest from Mississippi.
Overnight, a powerful Tropical Storm Gordon slams into the Gulf, packing sustained winds topping 70 miles per hour, heavy rains, and the potential for life-threatening storm surges. The space station capturing Gordon as it gains strength before making landfall just west of the Mississippi-Alabama border near Pascagoula. ABC's Ginger Z was there.
All right, this is when the wind and the rain start to prickle your skin. It's that hard. The gusts have really started intensifying and conditions have rapidly declined.
The lopsided storm soaking everything east of center, from Biloxi, Mississippi to Pensacola, Florida. This man's windshield wipers, no match for the blinding rain in Theodore, Alabama. On nearby Dolphin Island,
wind gusting over 70.
AccuWeather's Reed Timmer battles fierce storm surge and coastal flooding. In Pensacola, Gordon turned deadly. Authorities say a child was killed after a tree fell on his home during the storm. States of emergency remain in effect across Louisiana, Mississippi, and parts of Alabama. As tens of thousands of people are waking up this morning without electricity and the rain still pouring,
Got all the supplies that we need. We got batteries, flashlights, all that stuff.
Well, this storm is fast moving, and as quickly as it hit us here overnight, it is already starting to move out of the area. And now the big concern is that as Gordon moves north, it will start to slow down and could cause flash flooding further inland. Maggie Bruley, ABC News, Biloxi, Mississippi.
Well, when it came to stocking up before that storm, some gas stations in the Panhandle were getting slammed as drivers tried to quickly fill up before it hit. Now, drivers here on the Suncoast may also want to do the same. AAA says that gas prices may jump quickly if any refineries were damaged or forced to go offline during that storm. Last year, when Hurricane Harvey caused refinery outages in Texas, gas prices then spiked to almost 50 cents in just 2 weeks due to the decrease in production.
Without even the supply being disrupted, just the potential for it to be disrupted from any occurrence, politically or with something such as a natural disaster such as this, can certainly impact our fuel prices and have them increase.
Even without the potential impacts from Gordon, gas prices are already the most expensive in 4 years, up 17 cents from a year ago. Gas here in Florida currently averages about $2.80 a gallon.
State agencies in Mississippi have all hands on deck to respond to Gordon and its potential impacts. Right now, it is under a state of emergency there that allows additional resources and manpower to be deployed to the coast. The National Guard sent 40 soldiers to work alongside the emergency operations offices. State officials working closely with federal partners just in case more help is needed.
Hopefully, there will not be a need for a federal disaster declaration, but if so, myself and the rest of the Mississippi congressional delegation will do everything in our means to expedite public assistance as needed, where needed.
And shelters are now opening up throughout the state of Mississippi.
And just a reminder, we are in the peak of hurricane season here, and there's still about 3 months left. If you don't have a plan in place, now is a time that you should get one in place. We've got everything you need to know and stock up on how to prepare for hurricane season online at mysuncoast.com.
Filmmaker Tyler Perry is raising the reward to help solve the case of 2 missing Florida men. A wrongful death lawsuit was filed against former Collier County Sheriff's Deputy Steve Calkins for his connection in the disappearance of Terrence Williams and Felipe Santos. They were last seen in Naples 15 years ago. Both men were arrested by Calkins and placed in his patrol vehicle in separate incidents almost 3 months apart. Calkins has not been charged, but he has been fired for not cooperating with investigators.
First offered the $100,000 reward asking for information. We have not gotten any leads. I'm raising that reward to $200,000 for information. $200,000 for information that will help lead to the conviction of who we believe to be the culprit in this, which was Steve Calkins.
Now, prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump says he wants to bring the case in front of a jury. He also said he will subpoena Calkins. Happening today, a former Arizona senator will be sworn in to replace the late John McCain. Republican John Kyle has served in both the House and the Senate. He also spoke at a service honoring McCain last week at the state capitol. Kyle will serve until 2020, when a special election will be held to fill the last 2 years of McCain's term. Kyle has said he would not run for that special election.
Prosecutors in the sexual assault case against Bill Cosby asked a judge to allow testimony to his sentencing hearing, including cases that he wasn't charged in. Now, the prosecutor asked to present multiple witnesses who he expects will testify that Cosby drugged and or sexually assaulted them. Now, sentencing for Cosby is scheduled for September 24th, which is also the date the judge is expected to hear arguments on whether to accept a recommendation to classify Cosby as a sexually violent predator.
And speaking of Bill Cosby, look at this. This is his star on the Walk of Fame right now. Somebody vandalized the star and wrote the words "serial rapist" on it. Police said it happened sometime Monday night. Cosby was found guilty in April of sexually assaulting a woman back in 2004. His star was also vandalized about 4 years ago as well.
And check this out, Ayanna Pressley scored a stunning upset on Tuesday in Massachusetts, positioning herself to become the first African-American woman to represent the state in Congress. Now, Pressley defeated incumbent Michael Capuano in the Democratic primary in Massachusetts' 7th Congressional District. There's no Republican in the field so far on the November ballot. Now, for Capuano, who has conceded the race, it's a stunning defeat for the 10-term congressman, considered one of the more consistent liberal voters in the House. But analysts say Pressley won over younger and more progressive voters.
Singer Demi Lovato is trying to move on after her drug overdose in July. She's now selling her house in the Hollywood Hills where the incident happened. There it is. According to the listing, the house offers unobstructed views from downtown to the Pacific Ocean and sits on an acre of land. She is asking for $9.5 million for this 5,500 square foot home. Lovato is still in rehab.
Well, a golden retriever is more than just man's best friend in California. He's also the mayor, Mayor Max. Claudia Buccio tags along with the canine for a busy day, meeting and greeting paws with constituents.
That's Maximus' mighty dog, Mueller II, better known as Mayor Max, the mayor of Idlewild. You can find this golden retriever cruising on his personalized pickup truck. Don't worry, he doesn't drive.
The mayor's role is, his charter is to help make the world a better place by conveying unconditional love and doing as many good deeds for others as possible.
Phyllis Muir is the mayor's chief of staff. This furry friend needs some help running the town.
As the chief of staff is to help run the vision for what is the mayor's office for Idlewild. So we actually run a real mayor's office for Idlewild.
The two make public appearances every day to interact with the community, attracting locals and tourists.
Mayor Max is awesome. He's super friendly. He lets my son give him treats.
Mayor Max has been in office for 5 years, but it was his uncle who became the first mayor of Idlewild in 2012. So how did a dog become mayor?
So 6 years ago, Idlewild decided to elect its first mayor. And you had to be a local resident, but you couldn't run yourself. You could run your pet. In a voted election, 14 dogs and 2 cats ran, and we decided to have an election to raise money for animal rescue. So you paid $1 a vote, and you were encouraged to vote a lot.
So Max is not only the mayor of Idlewild, he also has a couple tricks under his sleeve. So let's see. What was it again? It's do the full pose. There you go. There you go. Oh, and wait until you see the cowboy pose.
You're amazing! It's 3 poses in 1.
Mayor Max and his deputies, who are also golden retrievers, go to fundraisers and events all year round. Mayor office will hold his ceremonial role for his lifetime.
And Mayor Max usually gives away some business cards and even some small stuffed animals to the people that they meet. And Ray is not allowed to be in the shot because he came up with too many puns for Max the Mayor.
I've been banned.
He's been banned.
5:41 right now, still ahead. The body of the missing 2-year-old in Largo has been found. We'll tell you where he was found, and you'll never guess who's facing charges.
But first, here's a shot outside our studio this morning to downtown Sarasota, right about 76-ish so far. More rain in store for us today, John Scalzi.
Indeed, good chance of that. We're looking at a rain chance coming in at about 60%. It'll be a day very similar to yesterday, so I've checked the rain box on our drive time forecast. Not so much for the trip to work, but again, the trip home from work will feature showers and thunderstorms. No airport delays being reported by the FAA for any of the hubs that serve Sarasota International. We'll be right back with your forecast.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76-degree air temperature, dew point to match, 100% relative humidity consequently. And we have an east wind that blows at about 8. That east wind, again, kind of instrumental to the forecast for this afternoon as we drive the moisture, drive the convergence zones from the other coast into our area, firing off those showers and thunderstorms later in the afternoon at time of maximum heating. To start with, things will be pretty quiet as they are right now. About a 10% chance of an isolated shower, mostly in inland areas. And then as we head into the noontime hour, we'll start to ramp it up as temperatures start to climb into the upper 80s. We'll top it out probably at around 92 for a daytime high, and by 3 p.m. about a 60% chance of some showers and thunderstorms around. Those will linger into the evening hours as we have seen over the last several days. So there's Gordon. Gordon has a kind of ragged system. It has more of the comma shape of a extratropical system, not so much a compact center eye wall of a tropical system. That's because it's already weakening, the wind field expanding, and it's in the process eventually of becoming extratropical, as it probably will later in the day. Just a remnant low, which will eventually merge with a frontal boundary and be whisked away in pretty short order. Nevertheless, until then, chances of some coastal flooding are possible, low-lying flooding particularly. Nothing really all that serious because the storm system is moving at a pretty good clip. So across our region, things are quiet, but we do have some showers in progress over on the other coast because of the easterly wind flow. You can make that out by the direction of motion of those radar echoes. Quiet conditions across our region, just a few little areas that are highlighted in green. Those are our river warnings that we've had for about a week and a half now. That'll continue on through the weekend. High pressure, the dominant weather feature across the eastern seaboard, bringing us that easterly wind flow. Gordon continues to drift away from us, and we are left basically with the same sort of summertime pattern that we have come to know very well over the last 2 weeks or so since we've gotten rid of the west wind. That easterly wind flow combines with our sea breeze front to produce the showers and thunderstorms that bring us that good chance of afternoon storms. Dry mornings, though, and that's true right into the weekend. So if you have an early tea time this weekend or any time this week, why, should not be a problem. And of course, we're watching the far tropics. Red tide status, pretty good news here. As of yesterday, Mote Marine observers at area beaches indicate, well, a couple of green flags indicating no kind of irritation in the air from red tide. That's true at Minnesota Beach, and that was true at Holmes Beach as well. And then other locations just showing, you know, low amounts in the air. That east wind really helping out, pushing those toxic aerosols out into Gulf waters. East wind comes in at about 10 knots over the course of the afternoon. That will bring you 2-foot seas and a light chop on your bay and inland water. And the forecast looks like this. We're looking at 92 for a temperature today and probably about the same tomorrow. Both days featuring about a 60% chance of rainfall. And then as we head into the weekend, we'll probably trim down rain chances just a little bit Saturday or Sunday because of some drier air moving in. We'll call it Sunday for now. And that will probably linger into the beginning of next work week. And into the middle of next week, we'll start to ramp up those chances for rainfall again as we watch the far tropics for any kind of possible tropical development there. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check out your first alert traffic. So far, it's really just State Road 70 that's showing some congestion right there as you go past 301, kind of between that and 75. And then in Sarasota County, those roads are not looking too bad out there just yet. There's a couple hot spots that we were looking at that's on Fruitville Road right there, but other than that, not too much going on in Sarasota. If you're headed a little bit farther south, 75 and 41, both of those are actually still looking pretty decent at this hour. It's 5:49. That's your first alert traffic. Well, it was a sad ending in the search for a missing 2-year-old in Largo. Yesterday, the body of Jordan Beliveau was found in a wooded area.
And this morning, his mother is behind bars. Marla Spence has details in this shocking twist. Marla.
Guys, the mother of that 2-year-old boy at the center of a statewide Amber Alert is now in police custody this morning. This comes after her son was found dead yesterday afternoon in a wooded area near Largo. Now, this is 21-year-old Sharice Stinson. She faces a first-degree murder charge in connection to her son's death. Largo police say 2-year-old Jordan Bellevue's body was found in the woods near the location where Stinson claimed a stranger named Antoine offered them a ride Saturday night before knocking her out, then abducting the child. When police found Jordan yesterday, they would not comment on the condition of the toddler, but they are glad they are close to closing this case and getting justice for that 2-year-old boy.
I'd like to thank the citizens of Largo and those that responded with valuable information and tips that also helped this case come to a close. Without them, extra ears and eyes out there, I don't think this would have come to a conclusion as fast as it has.
And this morning, police expect to release more information in the death of that toddler and this case. Ray and Stephanie.
Under the rainbow.
Well, after missing for more than 10 years, a pair of stolen Wizard of Oz ruby slippers have finally been found. It's one of just 4 pairs that were worn in the 1939 movie. There they are. Now, these slippers disappeared from the Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids, Minnesota back in 2005. Now, the FBI ended up joining in on the search about a year ago, and during an undercover sting for these shoes in Minneapolis, the shoes were finally recovered. Now, they've actually been called the Holy Grail of Hollywood memorabilia, valued between $2 and $7 million. They are back home today.
I thought I had seen those in the Smithsonian years ago in Washington.
I thought you were going to say in my closet the other day.
No. I sold them.
Yes, yes.
In my closet. Those are the ones I have are different.
Yes.
Wow.
All right, well, they have finally been found. Up next, we've got to wrap up all your headlines that we've been following for you today. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC 7.
Clogged pores are disgusting. Introducing DermaSuction, the easy way to suck that yuck out of your pores. DermaSuction removes blackheads and dirt from your pores. Just look at everything it extracts. The secret's the gentle vacuum action. Watch as DermaSuction extracts so much yuck, leaving your skin feeling clean and youthful.
The gunk that had been pulled out, I was pretty horrified, but better in the DermaSuction than on my face.
It's almost addictive because you can see all this stuff coming out of your skin that you don't even really know is there.
Call now to order your DermaSuction for just $19.99. We'll also include our small and large body probes, the Sonic Microdermabrasion probe, and the handy travel case, all absolutely free. Order now and you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. You can get all this, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-213-9301. That's 1-800-213-9301. Or visit dermasuction.com. So call 1-800-213-9301 now.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
I
witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Welcome back. It is 5:55, and here are some of the top stories that we've been following for you today.
A Largo mother is facing murder charges in the death of her 2-year-old toddler. She had said the boy was kidnapped by a man who offered them a ride.
Plus, Tropical Storm Gordon made landfall last night near Mississippi, leaving more than 40,000 without power today. It's weakened some, but it's still a rainmaker today.
And public restrooms are coming to St. Armand's Circle. Sarasota City Commissioners approved the $500,000 plan last night, as well as $100,000 a year in annual maintenance. I might apply for that job.
Right. Is that one person?
Yeah.
And now over to John Scalzi to see what the weather's going to be like today. John?
Well, your weather highlights will feature 3 things. Again, today, the east wind pattern is locked in. That means afternoon showers and thunderstorms will be a good bet. Plus, we're watching the tropics, the far tropics, not the near tropics, off the coast of Africa for a developing tropical wave that may influence the weather of the United States as we head into late next week. Back to you.
Thank you. And certainly a lot of people talking already about that twist in Largo where the mother said the boy was kidnapped.
Right.
Now she's facing charges in his death.
Yeah, that's right. Triggered an Amber Alert over the weekend. A strange twist. And fortunately for them, they were able to wrap it up much quicker than what people thought. Unfortunately, it's a sad ending, though.
So she's in court today. It's 5:56. We'll have more on that story and the rest of the news coming up right here on the second hour of Good Morning Suncoast.